Elementary Science Class 8. Crop Production and Management. Preparation of soil. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn and loosen the soil. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil and breathe easily.
I see. But why does loosening the soil help the roots to breathe easily?
The loosened soil helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. These organisms further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it.
Wow, that's really interesting. So, the soil organisms play a crucial role in the soil preparation process.
Exactly. Soil contains minerals, water, air, and living organisms. Turning and loosening the soil brings the nutrient-rich soil to the top, so that plants can use these nutrients.
I see. And what are the tools used for this soil preparation process?
The main tools used are the plow, hoe, and cultivator. The plow is used for tilling the soil, adding fertilizers, and removing weeds. The hoe is used for loosening the soil and removing weeds. And the cultivator is a tractor-driven tool that saves labor and time. Sowing. Before sowing, farmers select good quality, clean, and healthy seeds of a high-yielding variety.
How do they know which seeds are good?
There's a simple method: they float the seeds in water. The ones that float are lighter and likely damaged, while the heavier, healthier seeds will sink.
I see, that's a clever way to separate the good from the bad.
Exactly. And before sowing, it's important to know about the tools used, like the traditional funnel-shaped tool or the modern seed drill.
What's the difference between those two?
The traditional tool places the seeds manually, while the seed drill, used with tractors, sows them uniformly and at the right depth, protecting them from birds. Adding manure and fertilizers. Soil naturally supplies mineral nutrients to crop plants, but continuous cultivation can deplete these nutrients.
I see. So, what happens when the soil becomes poor in nutrients?
Farmers have to add manure to the fields to replenish the soil with nutrients. This process is called manuring.
What is manure exactly?
Manure is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition of plant or animal wastes. It helps improve soil texture and water holding capacity.
Okay, and how are fertilizers different from manure?
Fertilizers are chemical-based and produced in factories. They are rich in specific nutrients, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium.
Interesting. So, both manure and fertilizers are important for plant growth.
Yes, that's correct. While fertilizers have helped increase crop yields, excessive use can make the soil less fertile and cause water pollution. Irrigation. Water is essential for proper growth and development of plants. It is absorbed by the plant roots, along with minerals and fertilizers.
Wow, I didn't realize plants contain so much water. How much water do they have?
Plants contain nearly 90% water. Water is crucial for germination of seeds and transporting nutrients to different parts of the plant.
Interesting. What are the different ways plants get water?
The supply of water to crops at regular intervals is called irrigation. The sources of water for irrigation include wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams, and canals.
I see. What are some traditional methods of irrigation?
Traditional methods of irrigation involve using cattle or human labor to lift water from wells, lakes, and canals. These include methods like moat, chain pump, deckley, and rahot.
Those sound quite labor-intensive. Are there any more modern methods of irrigation?
Yes, modern methods of irrigation help us use water more efficiently. The main methods are sprinkler system and drip system.
Wow, those sound much more advanced. How do they work?
The sprinkler system uses rotating nozzles to spray water like rain, while the drip system delivers water drop by drop directly to the plant roots. These methods are very useful in regions with limited water availability. Protection from weeds. Weeds are undesirable plants that grow naturally in crop fields, competing with the main crop for resources like water, nutrients, space, and light.
I see, so they can affect the growth of the crop plants.
Exactly. Weeds can even interfere with the harvesting process, and some can even be poisonous to animals and humans.
That's concerning. What other ways to remove and control weeds?
Farmers use various methods, like tilling the soil before sowing to uproot and kill weeds, manual removal by uprooting or cutting them, and using chemical weedicides.
Chemical weedicides. Isn't that dangerous?
Yes, weedicides can be harmful if not used properly. Farmers need to be very careful and take precautions like covering their nose and mouth during application. Harvesting and storage. Harvesting is the process of cutting or pulling out the mature crop. It usually takes 3 to 4 months for a cereal crop to mature.
Interesting. How do farmers harvest the crops?
Farmers can either harvest manually using a sickle or use a machine called a harvester.
And what happens after the crops are harvested?
The next step is to separate the grain seeds from the chaff. This process is called threshing, and it's usually done with a machine called a combine.
I see. What about storing the harvested grains?
Proper storage is crucial to protect the grains from moisture, insects, rats, and microorganisms. Farmers often dry the grains in the sun to reduce moisture before storing them in jute bags or metallic bins.
Wow, that's a lot of steps involved in harvesting and storage. It seems like an important process.
Absolutely. Ensuring a successful harvest and proper storage is crucial for food security and sustainability.